I know you lost your mum.
Yeah, I did.
What, 15 months ago?
15 months ago, my mum passed away.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Fine.
I know it's brutal. It doesn't matter. Even if it's expected, it's hard. But for you, it was unexpected.
It was so unexpected. The last conversation we had was, she said, "I'm not cooking tonight. Tonight's my night off." And I was like, "Okay." And I was going out, and she goes, "Oh, do you want to get a pizza?" And I said, "Okay, cool." And then she goes, "Oh, go on, you pay for it." And I had no money on me. So I was like, "No, I ain't got no money." And then I left. And I sat in my car and I felt like, no, that was a bit deep. So I went back inside and I said to her, "Oh, Mum, look, I got the money, but I'm going to bank transfer it to you." And like, my mum was quite old school when it came to like online banking, and that sounded like a maze to her. So she was just like, "Oh, no, I was happy you offered." So I was like, cool.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, I left, got to my mate's house, and my dad called me and was like, "Where's your mum?" I was like, "Well, she's at home." And he's like, "Well, I'm at home." And he was like calling her, and I was just like, and then he was like, "All right, she's probably doing something." And I looked at my friend and I said, "I think my mum's died." And then my friend goes, "You're so dramatic." And I was like, "No, because my mum is such a character in the house. If my dad called her, she would have responded." And I was like, I could just tell in his voice. And then everyone dreads that phone call, and I had to drive home. And when I got home, there was 4 ambulances outside my house, and they were like doing that stuff to her, and I was just like, yeah,
oh man,
she's left us.
What age?
49.
So young. And bleed on the brain, or
Yeah, it was like a brain aneurysm.
We've got a doctor here.
Yeah.
That's the classic cause of sudden death, isn't it?
Sudden death, and people will say that they feel a kind of like a whack in the back of the head is the classic. I worked with a wonderful guy, one of the best doctors I've ever worked with. He was 49 actually, and I really feel for you. That's just dreadful. And he collapsed in surgery. His last words were, "I'm having a subarachnoid."
Now that's that phrase, subarachnoid hemorrhage. Subarachnoid is the base of the brain, right? That's my mother-in-law died of that 3 years ago, actually, at age 67. Again, very sudden. There's no way of knowing it's coming, is there, doctor?
No, in that, so subarachnoid actually just means underneath a particular layer of the brain, but it tends to happen in the base of the brain where you get these little aneurysms. And if
which is like just to say, aneurysm is like
a little blowout, if you like. If you think of a
Yeah.
tyre with a bubble coming out of it, it's like that. And you know, any one of us here may have an aneurysm which is not causing us any bother whatsoever. The problem with them is that when they burst, they suddenly go, and you have to bleed on the
What causes
brain.
that though? Is that stress or?
Well, we may be born with them, so there is a hereditary factor, and there may be an argument, Hussain, for you having a scan. So we may, you have them, and maybe if your blood pressure goes up or whatever, it can just suddenly burst.
Right. Just, I know you've written so powerfully.
Yeah.
I've got some film of a poem, but I'm almost wondering if you could say it to us live.
Yeah. I'd rather do that.
What you wrote about your mum, because it's beautiful.
All right, shall I do it to you?
To anyone you want.
All right.
Do it with your eyes closed if it helps.
All right. If heaven would let you have a day out, would you come and visit? If you could go back to that day, Mum, would you come and live it? I need to know, did God take your heart, or did you go and give it? And you need to speak back to me right now, because everybody around me kind of thinks I'm not with it. But I need to know, does your heart ache like mine? Does every tear when it falls take some time? And I'm confused as to why my life doesn't feel like mine. Because depression jumped into my nights. Self-doubt took over my flight. And suicide tried to jump into my fight. So what did I do? I started to write.
Oh my goodness.
Your daily dose of death.